Did You Have To is a proud member of the But Why Though podcast community.
Welcome back to Did You Have To, the podcast where two bad bitches talk about anime. And here are your hosts, Kate and LaNeysha. Yeah! Nisha's quirk, stress ball. By internalizing her stress about the world being in chaos and crime, she converts that stress into a superpower, becoming a badass. Kate's quirk, waifu warrior. By just watching her favorite shows, she can manifest real or fictional characters into the real thing. They come to life and fight by her side. Not every character does it, though. She has to find the individual really hot. Yeah!
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Kate.
And I'm Nisha.
And today we are starting our very first Manga Book Club and discussing Spy X Family, or Spy Family. Spy Cross Family?
Spy Family. I don't know.
Spy Family.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. This is another Hunter x Hunter situation. But yes, I'm so excited. It is our first Manga Book Club episode.
Yup, and I'm so excited to really dive in because I really like the idea, and Nisha talked about this when we announced it, is just we've all been seeking refuge in a lot of different things, and the world is just getting worse and worse, and right now manga has been a really great outlet. So I hope y'all read along with us and get in on this, and I don't know, I think Spy X Family, Spy Family, it's going to be weird. Spy Family is a really good thing to start off on because it's an action adventure. It's an action comedy with a little bit of romance, and it's just kind of really wholesome and good, and there's nothing really heavy about it. To put it in the plainest of terms, an assassin, a spy, and a telepath start a fake family, and that is the shortest synopsis you can get. It's published in English by VIZ Media from mangaka Tatsuya Endo, and it is specifically following Loid, who is the spy, who has been put on a mission to essentially make his fake family, get his fake daughter into a prestigious school in order to solve an issue that is going on and get closer to them, get closer to his target. And then his daughter is Anya, the telepath in this story. He goes to an orphanage, adopts her because she seems to be the brightest of them all, when really she can just read everybody's brains, and she's not really that bright, which is adorable. And then you have Yor, who is the woman who he meets while picking up clothes for Anya, and she just so happens to be an assassin.
Mm-hmm.
And also in need of a fake marriage at the time. So it all lines up, and essentially Volume 1 covers the first 5 chapters of the story, which are all available individually on Shonen Jump. And in those chapters, you see Loid come, you get to know their backgrounds for Loid, Anya, and Yor, and then you get to see them come together as a family, bond, and ultimately go through the school interview that would get, that is to get Anya into the school.
Great summary. that is basically it. But it's so good. And, did we mention it's from Shonen Jump?
Yes.
Okay, my bad. I think you might have cut out on my end. So, yes, I have been reading this since it first came out on the Shonen Jump app, and I just have to say I instantly fell in love with this manga. So hard.
And I picked it up because Nisha fell in love and was like, oh my god, you're reading manga again. Mm-hmm. You need to read Spy Family.
Yes, and I think it came up because, it's funny because we just had our romance anime episode. We just recorded that maybe last week or a few weeks ago by the time this comes out. But we had talked about the range of shonen, and I think this is a great example of Shonen Jump, of shonen, the genre, having range when it comes to genre. Because it's all the things that, Kate said, and it has, a little bit of romance thrown in, but I was just kind of ooh, this is just, really, really good storytelling. And I brought it up to you because you're if you have any, romance anime recommendations, I would love that. I'm I got something that's in the vein of josei. But it's like if Josei had a cousin who's from Shonen. Because it's so good, and I just love that it's centered on like people our age, but also the premise is it's just so it's funny. It's a comedy, but it's also like there's action and drama and a dash of romance. I want more romance though, because I need them to fall in love. I need this to be real for them.
Yeah, I love it so much, and I think it's because there's this really great balance between the action and the comedic parts of it as well. Mm-hmm. Because you get to see, the cool thing is you get to see both Yor and Loid doing their spy and assassin things by themselves. You get to learn why their codenames are their codenames, and then their first date, in quotation marks, is literally Loid running from somebody who is chasing him, while Yor is oblivious, but then also still very capable and like saving him. But like, what's happening? And it's adorable, and it's really like the Endo's illustrations are really, really good, especially in the action sequences. But the cool thing is he has these really great illustrated action scenes, and then it's the dialogue and everything is just really good comedy. Like, it's perfectly timed. Like, everything, like, the comedy aspect of Spy Family that works really, really well is that because something looks like something on the surface, and then the dialogue or the internal narrative will flip what you're looking at.
Right.
Which is something that is really fun to watch between the characters as they interact. And I think that in the action moments, it really shines, but I also think it really shines around Anya, when Anya is, like, getting a look into both her assassin mom and spy dad's worlds, and is just like, oh my god, I have to behave or they'll kill me.
Exactly. It is true, because Anya's like 5 or 6, like, she's first grade. Or grade 1, whatever. But, like, it's just so cute because Anya is this telepath, like, the tragic backstory that I feel like the series will continue to dive into further. But it's just, like, she's just a little kid who happens to be a telepath. So, like, when she is reading minds, she's definitely smart enough to have survived this long. To use her powers and those that she can't tell people about her powers. But it's like these things where, like, she hears them say something and she immediately thinks, like, I can't let them know I'm a telepath because they will kill me. Yep. And it's just like, cause she's a child. She's perceiving things as a child would. And it's just like, that's not what the parents, that's not their intentions, even though she just she sees her dad as this action hero. And she also, she actually sees both of them as action heroes in a way, where she's like, Mama's super strong and she can kill men, and Daddy saves the world, and he fights the bad guys like Super Bond, which is, like, I think so cute that she's obsessed with spies.
It's adorable. And the other thing, like, to that point that I really like is because over this first chapter is, like, as they go on their, like, fake family outings where they're trying to, like, pass it off as real or whatever, Yor ends up getting really, really close to Anya, and Yor is having these thoughts where she's like, how dare you hurt my child, I will hurt you, and Anya's like, oh no, don't hurt them, it's fine,
right.
And it's the most adorable thing because on the inside for Yor, this, like, she only knows how to, like, kill, and it's because she's an assassin, so her immediate thoughts are violent, but then she's also like, oh my god, I love this little girl, I have to take care of her, and it's the most adorable thing.
Right. I think that's one of the best things about it is the bonds that get established in the family. Because, like, that's a great point. Like, when you hear the premise is just like a spy, an assassin, and a telepath child are a fake family, and none of them know their true identity, you're immediately like, so is this some Mr. and Mrs. Smith shit? Or, like, how does this work? Like, is the spy, like, and I can slowly see, like, Yor and, damn, what is his name? I forgot already, and I think you
Loid?
Right. Like there's a bond there also, but like I do appreciate that Yor has a special motherly bond with Anya, and they show that because Yor has a nurturing side. She isn't one dimensional.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I really like too. And honestly, what I like about Yor is I like that she's shown as not really knowing how to be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just knows that she wants to protect her.
Yes.
But she doesn't necessarily have, like, the touchy-feely part to her. And she doesn't necessarily have, like, this... It's not instinctive to be a mom.
Yes.
Like, she's actively having to try.
Right. And it's like...
And
oh, go ahead.
That's just... Oh, sorry. And that's just really nice to see, because I think a lot of the times when female characters get written and they get written into a position where they're gonna be a mom or they are a mom, it ends up taking over their entire personality, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna flex into this and it's natural. And that's not how it is for a lot of people. Like, I don't like kids, I don't want to be around them, I can't flex into being a fake mom. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
Right.
And I think showing the reality of that and showing her open to Anya and learn from Anya is just a really good element of writing a dynamic character.
I agree with all of that, because I think it's also like important to add, like, the reason like she's needed a fake marriage is because like when she's like 26, 27, and the country is like very much in this schism, or like is it not Marxism? What is it? Like Red Scare era.
Yeah.
Where
McCarthyism.
What'd you say? McCarthyism. Thank you. So it's like this and it's like it takes place in like a modern world, like that's much we can tell, but it's like it's still very much the aesthetic is like McCarthyism. So the government, like there's the secret police, and there's people who like look at single women of a certain age as like they could be spies. Why don't you have a family? Why don't you have a husband? Why aren't you dating someone? So it's like even at Yor's day job, like there's this like her coworkers kind of like spark this anxiety in her of like, oh no, I could get found out as an assassin because I don't have a husband or child. It's not that Yor is looking to marry anyone, and it's not that she's looking for fulfillment to be a mother or to have a husband or a boyfriend. She is simply like, I also need a cover, so this is convenient for me too. But she's not heartless either. Like she's not cold and detached from her husband, air quotes, and her daughter, air quotes. Like she cares about them greatly, and I think that's cool. And I mean, whereas I don't think the same can be, I think in the beginning the same cannot be said about Ray. And I think it's evident because he has been a spy for so long, but he's been in relationships where he's dated someone for a mission, like for a year long, and then broken up with them.
And that's how it opens.
Yes.
That's how the story opens.
Right.
He has a fiance that he's a fiance just to get close to a target.
Exactly. So it's like and he knows how to detach himself for the sake of the mission. And his whole thing is like, my intentions are to hurt them. Like when he forms this fake family, my intentions are to protect them and protect everybody else, so no one has to have another war. And it's like, I think him saying that, it shows that he cares about them. It's not that he doesn't care about them at the end of the day. He does want them to be safe, but it does show that Ray hasn't had the opportunity to actually have connections with people, like true and honest connections. And one of my predictions is that those connections are going to become more real for him in this series.
Yeah.
Like, it'll take some time, but like at the end of the day, he's like, what about the mission? Like the mission is always important, but like you'll find him doing things for Anya that a dad would do, and it has nothing to do with the mission.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's such a really good thing. And I think that, like, that's why I also really love their, at the end, when they go into their, into the interview portion, you get to actually see how they're, like, not falling in love, but how they're, like, really understanding each other and how those bonds are coming out. And it's one of those things where you kind of question it in the beginning, like, oh, will they be a functioning family, and by the last chapter you get a look into how much they genuinely care for each other.
Right.
And I can't wait to see, like, and I mean, I've already read to chapter 12, so I know what happens next, but like outside of this one volume, I think when you come in and you read these first few chapters, you're going to end up wanting to go onto the Shonen Jump app and wanting to see more of them, just because of how well this relationship kind of builds and grows.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. And my bad. So his name is Loid. I said Ray. My bad. I just realized I heard you wrong. So yeah. Oh, also I love the fact that he just leans into like Loid Forger, as the Forger being the family name, as his forgery, as in fake. So like the jokes just hit
really good
on different accounts. But yeah, sorry, I felt like I had to correct myself there.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I think because you've read up to chapter 12, I think I'm all caught up on the current releases. So you're absolutely right. Like the direction of where the story's going, it's headed there. And it just, at first I thought I wouldn't, like, I don't know. I didn't think I would love this manga as much as I did when I read usually when I pick up a new manga, I'm like, okay, let me see what this is about. But I agree with you. Like, I hope that people, like, from our discussion give it a try, because it's easily accessible on the Shonen Jump app or VIZ Media. And it's just really, really good. Like, the story's funny, it's refreshing, it's something new, but like, I excitedly wait each week when a new chapter is released.
Yep. And there are 27 chapters currently on the Shonen Jump app. And I will say, like, I wish Shonen Jump sponsored us.
I know.
But we talk about them because it's an amazing subscription, and it's something that we both have and we both use. We don't get any cut or anything. I wish we did. Viz, hit us up.
Yes.
But like, it's $2.99 a month. It's $2.99 a month, and you get thousands of chapters.
Right. Thousands of chapters, and like,
worth it.
I can't stress this enough, but this is like, what is it called? It's like simuldub. Like, they translate them in English. So, like, usually we wouldn't have been able to get, like, these releases unless, like, you went to, like, the dark side of the web and went to scans and risking viruses on your computer. And then, like, and people translating them. But here you can get it directly from the source, which is contributing to the actual creators. So I feel better about using this app, paying $2.99 a month, and getting access to Shonen Jump's entire library of manga, which is very big.
Yep.
So yeah, Shonen Jump pays us.
And it's huge. I mean, I just think that, like, it's an easy way, and it's honestly it's the best investment when you're looking, if you're like us and you've really taken to reading manga during the pandemic. Like, it's worth it because it's all in one place, and you don't have to wait a month or 2 months for the volume to come out. Like, it's really good. I'm still salty that there's no shoujo beat equivalent, because I've spent a lot of money on shoujo recently, and I would just like to read it.
I mean, that's true.
Spend so much money.
I mean, maybe Viz will come out with something. I don't know. But I mean, like, there should totally be a shoujo beat equivalent to Shonen Jump, because, I mean, I think one thing for sure this shows is that if you make it accessible for people, they will read it. It's giving this medium, like, more access to people who probably have never read any manga before. Because, like, I know we joke about it on our account several times. Like, you got the manga only people, you got the anime only people, and you got both in the middle. And it's just like, look, I love manga and anime, and I just can't always wait 2 years for the anime to come out. Sometimes you just want to read the manga. And, I mean, not every manga gets turned into an anime, but I think the point is, like, you can be exposed to really great storytelling and great characters if you give manga a try. And the fact that Shonen Jump makes it affordable and accessible, I think is awesome.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And you have like everything from like horror manga to harem manga to your prototypical shonen manga, which is just like the My Heroes of the world and everything like that. There's just so much for everybody to come to, and I think that Spy Family for me really showcases how diverse the storytelling is within the shonen demographic, because I do think it's really easy for people to dismiss shonen as being one thing without realizing that there is a lot to read and learn and really see.
Right. I completely agree with that, because we can't stress it enough. Like, the story is just so interesting and good, and I would love for this to be turned into an anime, but I'm also very happy that it's a manga that I can readily read right now. And it does show the range of shonen. It's just so good. The characters are great. Y'all just go read it. I mean, tweet at us if y'all start picking it up and read it. I would love to hear other people's opinions.
Yes, please. I want to know what y'all think about these characters.
Yes.
Also, Loid can get it.
Loid can get it. All of it.
I love him so much.
I do. I guess that kind of segues. I did want to ask you, so we've already talked that we love these characters. What is, like, one favorite thing about each of them? Or you could just talk about your favorite one.
Ooh, okay. So I love Loid because he's like that detached person who you can tell has so much like love going under the surface that we're gonna get to see as we keep reading and more chapters come out. That's what makes me really excited. And that's why I like him, because you can just tell that there's more there than just the cold spy. And then for I just love how awkward she is.
Yes.
Like, that woman is extremely awkward, and she doesn't really know how to talk or do things. And then Anya is just an adorable, wholesome little child that is gonna unite these two awesome people together, and I hope they officially fall in love with each other and they raise Anya like their daughter for real, because they all deserve happiness.
I like that. Yes, I agree with all of those things. For me, I also love that that Yora is so awkward. Yeah. I love the trope that she is unable to cook anything that is edible. Because it's cute, it's funny. I love that trope with women who are like usually like badasses, super skilled and capable, but it's a funny thing. But I love that she tries and she cares. Like, we talked about that maternal caring part of her, and I love that just because she's an assassin doesn't mean she can't have compassion for other people. I love Lloyd's just similar to what you said, where like he's detached from people, but he's detached because he has to be. And I'm so eager to see more of each character's backstory. Like, we get glimpses here and there, but I think I think in volume 1, and this isn't a spoiler, the reason why Loid is so dedicated to his job as a spy and everything is because, like, I believe it's hinted that his family died when he was young, that he's an orphan. So it's like he doesn't want anyone else to go through what he went through, because the setting takes place after a war had just occurred, and they're trying to make sure another war doesn't happen. So I think that's something that I think is very powerful about his character, and I would like to see more of that explored. And as for Anya, just bless Anya's heart and give her all the peanuts. She's so adorable. I mean, like, and I'm not always a fan of kids in, like, shows. I mean, like, it depends. The kids gotta be cute, or they gotta be funny. Or they gotta be, like, a really good character. But Anya is just, like, a kid. Like, she has this power that nobody knows about. She can't tell anyone about it. But in a shonen way, like, in a very kid-like way, but that's not usual to shonen, is that she keeps her innocence as a child. Yeah. And I think that's something I really like about it. So, yeah, I do have a question, because I still have to, like, go back and reread volume 1. I think Yor and Loid are fighting for the same purposes, right?
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day. So it's like this funny thing where, like, at first I thought they were on opposite sides. But I think it's just she's on the side of doing things, you know, outside of the law.
Yeah, and she's also, like... Loid is more... I don't have to do this type thing. Or not, I don't have to do this, but, like... A spy and an assassin are very different. A spy wants to get in, get out, not kill anybody. She's like, oh no, I got skills, I'm gonna kill you.
Yes.
Which are just two very different things.
Agreed. I think that's true.
But for the same cause, for the same purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. So it's like, it is very much like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They're not they're not enemies. They're not trying to kill each other. But they are very much working for the same purpose, but different methods.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love, another thing I love how they show Yor's fight scenes. Like when she kicks the shit out of somebody, and it's just the best. But
they're so good.
They are so good. I don't know what else we can say about this manga to convince y'all to go read it. But
I mean, I think we did a pretty good job, and I don't think we really spoiled anything. There's a lot in those chapters for you to read and get a handle on that I think you'll be surprised and excited for.
Yeah, I would agree. So, like, we haven't really spoiled anything. Y'all can go into this not knowing much, and I think you will be pleasantly surprised with this series.
Yep. So, like, definitely, like, tweet at us what you think. Tweet at VIZ. Tell them we sent you.
Yep.
And let's get that conversation going. And let's just really, I don't know, let's come together now. It's rough. It's rough out there.
Yes, it's rough.
We can all come together and be weebs.
Yes, on a united front.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, where can they find us, Kate?
You can find the podcast at DYHT_pod on Twitter, and you can find me personally at OhMyMythRandier on Twitter as well.
And you can also find me at LA_NEY_SHA. And with that, can Loid get it? Yes. Will Loid and Yor ever learn the truth about each other? Y'all gotta read to find out. And will you go read Spy X Family? Find out next time on Did You Have To? Bye! Did You Have To is co-produced by Kate Sanchez and LaNeysha Campbell. Our intro is done by Dr. Emery Stephen Daniel. And our outro and intro music is by Benjamin Tissot, aka Ben Sound.